Let me ask you something. When a political party starts fighting itself in public, is it democracy at work? Or is it the beginning of the end? Because right now, ODM is not just arguing, it's splitting along power lines, family lines, and the generational lines that we know about ODM. And if you are a Gen Z, you might think, why should I care? But trust me, what's happening inside ODM today will affect who leads Kenya tomorrow. So let's talk about it. You get the better understanding about the dynamics happening down in ODM. ODM, as known, has always sold itself as the party of the people, the opposition, voice of the people, and always the alternative voice of the people. But recently, ODM leaders are sending very different messages from different rallies to different audiences. And that's where the confusion starts. A few weeks ago, ODM held a rally in Nairobi associated with ODM's official leadership wing. Oburu Odinga, Raila's brother, who is also the eldest, and now who took over as the party leader since Baba's loss, was the one who took the center stage of the rally held in Kibra. He was accompanied by ODM figures, and they were key ODM figures. A few of the figures included Gladys Wanga, the ODM national chairperson, Simba Arati, ODM deputy party leader, Abdul Swamad Nasir, the deputy party leader, and some several MPs from Nairobi and Nyanza regions. This was not just a random gathering. It was a statement rally. You know, ODM had stood for long without holding a rally, and this rally, they had come out to make a big statement. The message of the rally was very, very clear. ODM needs discipline. ODM leaders must respect party decisions. ODM must work within the broad-based political arrangements, even if it means engaging power. At the rally, you could see leaders criticizing officials who publicly opposed ODM's direction. And although names were not always mentioned directly, the target was clear. One name which was clear at the rally was Edwin Sifuna, the current ODM Secretary General. The issue that Sifuna, many leaders raised, was that Sifuna of late has been very, very local, very, very vocal. The things that Sifuna has been very, very vocal about was he was against the broad-based agreement. The second thing that Sifuna had been saying that ODM as a party was losing the opposition identity. And then he was very, very against decisions being made without the grassroots input. But few of the leaders were arguing that you cannot fight the party in public. And they were very, very accusing Sifuna of ignoring the party structures, undermining official leadership, and creating confusion among the supporters. To these leaders, the party unity came before public dissent. So, from the Oburu-led wing, the thinking was simple. If you don't agree, raise it internally, not on TV, not on X, and not at rallies. A few days later, Winnie Odinga held a rally at the Kamukunji grounds. It was a separate rally that came a few days after the Oburu Odinga rally, and it was in Nairobi. Now, Winnie was not talking about discipline first. She talked about ownership. She was warning people against trying to take ODM by force, attempts to rewrite the party's soul, and there were quiet efforts to push the Odinga family out of ODM. She was very, very complaining that some people were working effortlessly to take them out of the party since Baba's loss. And this, she made it very, very clear to one thing. She defended Sifuna at this rally. Her message was very, very firm. ODM is not just a political vehicle. It's a movement. And you don't silence voices just because they question power. She also appeared alongside her brother, reinforcing one key signal. The Odinga family is not retreating from ODM politics. She was very, very firm to say that the Odinga family was not going to step aside and leave the party to a few individuals who thought they could rule their party within their own means. Now, this is where many people get it wrong. The battle within ODM is not about the about Oburu versus Winnie or Sifuna, who has been at the center of dramas in the ODM party. The big question is, who controls ODM after Raila? Is it the party elders, the Odinga family, or a new generation like Sifuna or Babu Owino? Number 2, what's the role of ODM today? Is it opposition, watchdog, or a strategic power in partner? Now, the third and the most important question, who speaks for the party? Is it the Secretary General, who at the time is Edwin Sifuna, the party leader, who at the time is Oburu Odinga, or whoever who has the microphone? Now, ODM as a party nowadays has many people employed as the youth within the party. Now, how do the Gen Z fit in all of the ODM politics? Now, as Gen Zs are voters, Gen Zs consider ODM as a big party, oppositional parties, but most of the Gen Zs seem to be very, very tired of their scripted politics. They don't trust the backroom deals that ODM have been carrying out, the big one being the broad-based agenda, and being they want to renew the agenda for the 2027 politics, and they also want leaders from the ODM to speak openly. And you can see why Babu Owino and Sifuna are big they're admired by Gen Zs because of their power to speak broadly without fear. Now, you can see Sifuna is being loved by Gen Zs because of what? So now ODM has been left stuck between control versus openness, tradition and transition, and power versus the principles of the party. Now, There is also another big silent battle happening within the ODM party. Some ODM leaders insist Nairobi must produce an ODM governor in 2027 and he should not come from the UDA party. The contradiction comes here. How do you claim opposition ground while supporting broad-based arrangements that strengthen the ruling side? That's why leaders like Sifuna argue the broad-based agreement did not protect ODM values. It weakened the party's negotiation position and it confused supporters. To him, that deal crossed a line. To others, it was a political realism. Now, this sounds familiar because we have seen this before. In Uganda, you can see leaders from the NUP struggling getting into power because of the current regime. In Tanzania, the opposition has been shrinking in spaces. And in Kenya, the ruling coalition dominates most of the parliament. Strong parties survive transition, weak ones collapse into factions. ODM now is getting very tested coming into the 2027. ODM is not dying, but it's at a crossroad. If it silences dissent, it risks losing young voters. If it ignores structures, it risks chaos. The party must decide, are we managing power or preparing for the future? Because 2027 is not waiting. If you are a Gen Z and you care about where Kenyan politics is headed, then these internal fights matter more than you think. If this breakdown made sense to you, like the video, subscribe, and let's keep having honest political conversations without fear. This is Next Gen KE, and this is our politics, whether we like it or not. Till next time, bye bye.